special edition here of the 216 show, highlighting Cleveland Changemakers.
The way every individual is treated, not only the students, but how the employees treat each other as well.
The greatest thing as well, because you know how life throws at you.
Since we're not necessarily asking you guys about your one-time or few-time experience, we're all current employees.
I think they have to make a move at the deadline. Appreciate it.
Together.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. Welcome everybody to a special edition here of the 216 show, highlighting Cleveland Changemakers. We have a couple housekeeping items to take care of before we get into the episode and introduce our guests here, but there's obviously a new face on the set here. Drew Krejci is with us. He is not only Derek and my cousin, but he's one of our teachers on our education team here. He kind of helps produce the show behind the scenes, so this is his debut being in front of the camera. I know he's feeling the pressure today.
Yeah. I'm sure he is. Right. Are you okay though?
I'm going to put on a brave face for you guys today.
But Drew's been with us now for 6 months here at the two, has his master's in counseling. He's been fantastic adding him to our team here. So now the real pressure, we get to kick it to you for Jack's part. Right. So would you like to give the mission of the show here?
Yeah, of course. So our goal is to inspire, inform, and entertain with an emphasis on Cleveland sports, and so we're gonna jump right into it, huh?
That's right. So today, episode 6, special episode. We have Jack and Derek here as our guests.
Great to be here.
As we're now 5 episodes in, we get more and more questions and more interest saying, hey, we need to know Jack and Derek a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So we figured this is the perfect time to do that. We're excited to let everybody get to know Jack and Derek more, and really the inspiration behind the show here at the two, and let them get to know you guys as we know you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having us on.
Yeah,
and Jack and I take privileged to be on the show, and honored to be on the show with the two lovely gentlemen on here.
You guys will have to cut us a little slack on being the co-host of the show today, but we'll hopefully do you guys justice.
Oh, you'll do great, yeah.
So that said, we're going to go through our normal segments here with maybe a little different spin on some of these segments. But jumping right into Two's Q's and letting our audience get to know you guys a little bit further. So, Drew, we ready to go?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yes.
See how many questions in a minute we can get through.
Let's hit it.
All right, ready, set, go.
Derek, what city and state did you grow up in?
Sugar Falls, Ohio.
Jack, same question.
Chesterland, Ohio.
Awesome. Derek, how many years have you been married?
9 years this October has been the best years. It's terrific to be married for that long to my wonderful wife. She means the world to me as well.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Jack, how many siblings do you have?
3 siblings, 1 older brother and a younger brother and younger sister.
Okay.
Go. Derek, any pets?
Yes, I got a dog named Happy.
Happy the
Dog
dog.
named Happy. Jack, most underappreciated Cleveland athlete of all time?
Josh Trips.
Josh Cribbs.
Derek, follow up with the Browns here. Favorite Cleveland Brown?
I'm going to say Shador Sanders.
Shador
I
Sanders.
thought it was
Might
Baker.
be time to give him a look. Jack, greatest TV character of all time?
Kramer from Seinfeld.
Derek, if you could meet anyone, who would it be?
Donovan Mitchell.
Jack, 1 word to describe yourself.
Kind.
Kind?
Yes.
Yeah. Same to you, Derek. 1 word to describe yourself.
I'm humble, and I don't take it proud, but again, I'm just so thankful that to be humble and have the hope as well.
Yeah. Hope. Yeah. So that's time. We went a few seconds over there, but
We got a lot of them in though.
it's okay. It's our show. We can do whatever we want here.
I wonder if we have the record now.
You probably do for going the longest minute. We'll have to slow down the minute on the clock. That's right. But I think, it's important here to note real quick before we continue on. 1 word to describe yourself. You said hope. You said kind. What is the inspiration behind those words, you think?
Derek, you want to lead off?
Sure, I can go. The reason why I pick those 2 things, number 1, humble is the hardest thing to do, okay? And also, it's the greatest thing as well, because you know how life throws at you, okay? And that's also challenging too, as well, because let's say someday that life does throw curveballs at you. And here, we do that. Yeah. And we gotta be flexible. We gotta be adaptable to that. And also number two, when I say hope, as well, to describe myself, is because the Lord Jesus Christ is the living hope. And we want to live that hope out. And that hope is also the testimony too, that we walk with the testimony as well. The testimony that needs to be lived out. That's the reason why I picked the hope in him, because he is the living hope as well. That's the reason why I picked those two things.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's a good answer. Yeah, so I said kind. I think we were talking a little bit before the show. I think the Lord just needs a little bit more kindness right now in the light of everything that happened with Charlie Church. And then just to see the amazing memorial yesterday, and his wife talking about how she forgives his killer who took his life tragically. I think kindness and humility, like Derek said, the Lord needs a lot of that right now, and I think there's a lot of hope that people can come together and kind of put aside whatever differences they have and do it for the man above, because that's what matters in the end.
Yeah. Well, I know, knowing you guys obviously quite a bit, your faith, is so important to you, and really, is the foundation of who you guys are and everything that you believe, and everything stems from that. So, thank you for sharing that. I think that'll be, helpful to our audience and everybody as we continue to go through the show here, knowing that really that is kind of the foundation of who you guys
That's
are.
That's definitely the foundation, for sure.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. I think the world needs a lot to, something to have hope in, right? Like the world, you throw on the news or something, right? Like it's so much negativity and so much anger and hostility. And it can be a lot to take in if there's not something to have hope in, right? That there's a greater purpose than that. So, yeah. We'll transition into our next segment here of Review the Two. It's going to be a little bit different maybe than how it would usually be, since we're not necessarily asking you guys about your one-time or few-time experience. We're all current employees here at the Two, and we're probably going to have a little bit of a different perspective. So I'll toss it out to Christian here, and we'll get rolling.
Yeah. So Jack, tell us, a little bit about your experience of hearing about the Two, how you came to the Two, what it's been like here at the Two.
For sure, yeah. So last year summer, my mom and some of her friends, they went to the old location, and so we went. She said it's a great atmosphere, great employees. She said, "Do you want to go to me and my cousin for lunch?" And I said, "Great." So we went. I believe that was last July or August. Had a great meal. Tyler was actually the first person we came in contact with, former employee here. Recommended the BLT, so that's still one of my favorites. And then so after that, just how God works in mysterious ways. I was in my final semester of college, and my case manager and I were going over a list of internships and other training programs in the Cleveland area that would be a best fit for me. So I was going down the list. Not a lot was jumping out at me. And then two in company, I said, "Oh, I've been there before," and I asked her, what do you think of it? And she said she had a lot of great things to say, and she said, "Do you want me to contact Josh? I'll give him your email, you can go back and forth." So I scheduled an interview, and then interviewed with you in I believe that was October. And then had a follow-up or 2, and then you reached out to me and said, could we plan a phone call? Because my degree was finance, so I was like, okay, I'll go through what I was thinking in my mind was, I'll go through the training program, get some work experience, and then I'll find a permanent job elsewhere. So then
We couldn't let that happen.
You didn't let that happen,
We
yeah.
couldn't let you get away from
I
us, Jack.
appreciate that. Yeah, so then you told me, I said it's still the best phone call I've ever received. It was, I mean, out of the blue, you said me and my brother are thinking about starting a podcast, and we would really appreciate you to work here as a permanent employee and be on the podcast with us. So, and now here we are.
Yeah, yeah, it's an amazing story. I've told the story multiple times, and it's hard not to get emotional. And I don't want to. I'm going to kind of withhold my side of the story here until we get a little bit later in the show. But
yeah, we'd love to hear.
And you're still with us, obviously,
I'm
so
still
you're enjoying
loving-
your experience.
Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah, yeah. The atmosphere and the employees, it's just top notch. With the way every individual is treated, not only the students, but how the employees treat each other as well.
Yeah, we have a great team of people here, a great culture.
For sure.
And it's because of great people like you. So we appreciate you being a part of our team.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's definitely great having you. I know.
And you were here on one of my interview days.
Yeah, one of those first times was actually when I was kind of chatting with Christian about coming on board, and we met real briefly. But yeah, crazy how it works out. Like you said, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
For sure.
You know, it was just a quick, hey, how are you? I'm Drew, and hey, I'm Jack, and here we are. Fast forward, and working on the show together every week, and obviously now I'm on the other side of it here for an episode. But yeah, crazy. So.
It's amazing.
It really is. It really is. So shifting it over to you, Derek.
Yes.
Obviously, I think most people that are familiar with the two are probably familiar with you to some extent.
Absolutely.
But aside from being a co-host of the 216 show, right, we know that you wear a lot of different hats. Do you mind kind of just sharing with our viewers what are some of the other responsibilities that you take care of here?
Absolutely. So, with the viewers that doesn't know what I do around here, is I help out with admin stuff. I am in the office, and assisting other in office.
Yeah, Lisa, our director of advancement, Cecilia, our director of finance.
Cecilia and Ellie, and all the things that they do, which I assist with. And also I do some daily things as well, not just doing that too. I sometimes do help out in the cafe. I just so appreciate the things that I do here as well to help out. Yeah.
You get to be a part of a lot of different things. So your actual title here is our Director of Community Integration.
Yep, thank you, Christian. Yes, I do have that title here as well.
He wears a lot of different hats, though.
I do.
And don't forget, right, 2 Fridays a month, you're also the guy that's handing out pay stubs.
There you go.
That is true. I do hand out pay stubs.
Which is a pretty important role.
Yeah.
That is.
But anybody who asks you, you always say, your most difficult task is keeping me in line.
How do you know that?
That's right.
So
I've heard.
do.
Keep me in line.
It takes a full-time job. With it. Because I know how this man is over here
2 full-time jobs.
as well.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna have to hire somebody else to do it too.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that said, your guys' obviously roles and involvement here at the two. Let's go backwards a little bit and jump into our guest highlights segment and give everybody a little greater idea of kind of who you guys are, where you come from, and how we've arrived at this point. So, Jack, why don't you go ahead and start us with your personal story?
For sure.
Wherever you would like.
Yeah, so I'll start at the beginning. As I said, from Chesterland, Ohio. I was born in the summer of '99. So initially everything, no, I didn't have any complications with when I was born. And then fast forward kind of 3-6 months where I should have been hitting those certain milestones with crawling, rolling, wasn't taking over the legs, really no movement when my parents would put me on the ground. I would just kind of lay there. And my mom said I would have a big smile on my face, but no movement. Yeah, rosy cheeks, big smile. But yeah, so I wanted to get tested, and then at 10 months, I was diagnosed with SMA, or spinal muscular atrophy type 1. So what that entails, it basically weakens all my primary muscles, very weakened immune system, and then there's different levels. There's 4, so SMA 3 and 4. It's some tweaks and lot, very usually a normal life expectancy. 2 is more severe, and then 1 is the most severe. So it kind of goes 4 to 1 and opposite, and then 1 is the most severe. So I was diagnosed as SMA type 1. And those early years were very difficult in terms of a lot of hospitalizations. The primary mortality of someone with SMA is respiratory-related illness. So a lot of pneumonia battles in and out of the hospital. My parents said they can't even keep track of how many I had, so there's just too many to count.
Well, because I think most people think of, spinal muscular atrophy and they think of the muscular system, but you don't think as much of the immune system.
Right, it's
internal, the lungs, and
it's a makeup of the lungs, the immune system, like you said. So then in and out of the hospital, on ventilators, breathing tubes, and multiple times with doctors told my parents, you have to make a plan because its numbers aren't looking well. But I was able to make it through. Just thankful to obviously my parents first and foremost, the doctors and nurses and the man above got me through those difficult early years. And then kind of fast forward to early on fourth. I didn't go to school early on because kind of wanted to protect the immune system. I went to elementary school in the 4th grade. And I had a pretty good year starting out. And then, so the sickness is kind of lessened. Still hospital stays, but not as many. And then 5th grade, this is a story that really kind of summed me up. We were coming back from a trip from Florida, and driving back, we got into West Virginia, like the mountains, and I had been battling a cold a couple days prior, so got into West Virginia and just couldn't take the deep breath, couldn't catch my breath. We were still probably 5-6 hours out, so stopped, had to go to the hospital in Charleston, got a chest x-ray, and then turns out I have double pneumonia. So early next morning, I'm life flighted back up to Cleveland, where I'm luckily able to recover from there. But I tell that story because I don't remember really anything, nothing about the car ride or hospital stay after, none of that. But I'm on the table, getting the chest x-ray. I'm in distress, and there's 8 different people in the room, and outside the room there's clear glass, and then there's a little TV and it's late on a Thursday night, so the Browns are playing the Steelers, and they end. So there's like, I don't see the story. There's like, it must be the end of the game because it's late. So Roethlisberger throws a incomplete pass on 4th down, and they're going crazy. But the only thing I remember just out of that whole experience, it was their coach at the time, Eric Mangini, who he looked miserable probably 99% of the time on the sidelines. He just had this huge smile on my face, and that kind of sums me up as a sports person and a Browns fan. That's the only, from that whole experience, that's the only thing that I can remember.
Yeah,
it's
real
just that
vivid
smile.
memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that pretty much sums me up.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. There's a lot there.
It's a lot there. Yeah.
Incredible. Thankfully, God's in control, and
He got
health-wise,
me through. Yeah.
yeah, you've come out in a great place. Yeah. So.
Well, and it's, I think it's funny because like stories, right? Like specific memories and stories that like they really stick with you.
They do, yeah.
Like I think it's easy to, you think about a story and it pinpoints like a time where maybe you wouldn't have been able to tell the time before, but if you go in through a story, you're like, oh wait, I remember exactly when that was.
For sure,
right? Because there's certain moments that just kind of stick with you.
Yeah, it's weird, just like I said, the moments that do stick. Like, why did that stick? But
right, maybe there's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, but it just, right? You have a snapshot in your head of it, and for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Well, kind of speaking of stories, Derek, I want to kind of flip it to you. I know we've talked before the show about maybe a couple specific ones that you'd want to kind of share with us, but talking about your life and kind of growing up and into your school age experience, I know that there were maybe kind of 2 specific stories about your name and then maybe about something having to do with basketball. So I want to flip it over to you and kind of let you share some of those.
Absolutely. So thank you. The first one is the first story is when my mom was pregnant with me. Okay, and still remember this story that I'm sure my mom knows too as well. That when Christian went into where my mom and dad, their room, okay, and Christian said was, you know what? I know I'm gonna have a baby brother. I want to name him Derek, and then.
Because mom and dad at this time didn't know if you were going to be a boy, going to be a girl, didn't know anything, but I was certain.
Right. Oh, you were definitely certain, for sure, no doubt. And that's why mom and dad had thought about that, and next thing you know, they thought about it, and what Christian said, and then they both, you know what? It is coming a boy, and Christian is white, and he's certain he's a boy, and his name is coming Derek. So here I come.
That's your name. So I was maybe 4 years old at the time. We're about 4 years apart. Just turned 4. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then later on, when I was
fast forward to kind of high school age.
High school age, yes. Yeah. When I was trying out for high school team.
The basketball team.
Basketball team.
Yep.
Yes, and I came down, trying out, made a couple threes. That everybody was, oh my gosh, I can't believe you made that shot. That one was way out on the arc. You did not hit the backbone of the rim. We only saw the ball hitting the net. Can you see? Way out there. I'm like, yep, that was me. Can you see? So, and again, I mean, when I was doing that, trying out, still this day, the coach, when I was trying out, okay, and my buddy who also was trying out as well for the team, we we both got cut. He said to me as the first one, he's like, well, I don't want do this to you, whatever, but it hurts me to actually say it to you. Eventually, you were cut from a team. I'm like, I want you to say this, gee, thanks. Because he think, but I didn't want to ruin that moment right there. But he had a follow-up question for me as well. He said was, I really want you to stay on the team with us. Are you willing to keep the books for us and stay on the team? And I said, absolutely, I take the opportunity as well. And that went the same way with my buddy. He got cut too. And he also got a follow-up question as well that, hey, would you stay on the team? And also be the book keeper and be next to Derek as well. So
Stay on and do that together.
and here we go. We both did it together, and we are thankful that we didn't make the team as well, because we didn't want to sit in that locker room hearing these bombs going off in the locker room.
After a loss after the game, you were thankful you weren't in the locker room.
I mean, he over here at halftime saying, what this, what that, can he say to the team? I'm like, to my buddy, like, be thankful we're not in that locker room, hearing all this going on at halftime. He was screaming at the top of his lungs as well. So.
Oh, that's fun. Thank you for sharing that. But I think that also speaks to just, you know, our family approach, which is now the approach of the two. And, you know, you're the director of community integration, and that's what we do. You know, we integrate, right? We go, and life has natural consequences sometimes, right? Some people make the team and some people don't. But they're all learning experiences.
Exactly.
They all provide you, you know, dignity and opportunities to learn and grow. And, you know, here you are many, many years later speaking so positively about the experience where, you know, others might look at that as a negative experience. But, you know, they all help make us into who we are.
Yes, and grow us into the man as well that God wants us to become too from those opportunities.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you for sharing that. Okay, so Jack, going back to you. So fast forward more kind of to high school years, or maybe even a little bit before high school years. You want to pick us up from there?
For sure, yeah. So after that story I told you after my pneumonia bout, the turning point was really at 12. I had a spinal fusion, which I had a severe, very severe scoliosis. So that really opened up my lungs, since my spine was kind of compressing on my organs and lungs. So that was really a turning point. It was a tough recovery, but it was definitely a godsend to get that. Very thankful to have that. And then, so because of the recovery, I was home to the den 7th and 8th grade. And then going to my freshman year of high school, I went to NDCL, and it was definitely new to me because I went to a very small elementary school. It was a Montessori school. So NDCL at the time had probably 800 kids as opposed to like 80 that I was used to. So it was a little different, yeah. So kind of met with the principal. He said, it's a first for you and it's a first for us. We've never had someone in a chair, so just we'll learn as you learn, we'll learn with you. So, but everything, I loved the experience. It was, I remember a couple months through freshman year, I'm in first period world history, and someone comes down from the office. They give me, it's like the envelope, and the morning announcements are playing in the background. So as I'm reading it, they just say my name, and I didn't hear what they originally said, and the class just stands up and cheers. And I kind of read the rest of it and said, you've been selected to be the male freshman representative for homecoming. So that was definitely, that was a moment I'll definitely cherish. So yeah, made a lot of great friends, but then during that time, like speaking before, not used to being around that many people, and the amount of work with the lack of sleep. I was going increasingly in and out of the hospital more. So my parents said, well, if you get sick one more time, we're gonna have to change course with this, because it's going in that direction again where you didn't sit too much. And then it was probably like a couple weeks later, and like we said at the time, I kind of thought, after all the hospitalizations early on and the fusion, I was kind of over the hump. And then I kind of took a step forward, 2 steps back. And so a lot of people say, was there a time that you, like, for people of faith, that you didn't believe in God? And I never had that moment in my life, but after I had to leave and become homeschooled again, there was definitely anger there. But going forward, now that I look back at it, I'm really thankful for the time that I did have there, because people in my position, they couldn't even attend, with SMA, they couldn't even attend high school. So I appreciate the many good times, and I thank him for all the times that I had at NDCL.
Yeah, I know just from our conversations, you look back on those times, very fondly.
For sure,
and, yeah. Okay. You want to flip it back to Derek here?
So, Derek, I know you said grew up in Chagrin Falls, but went to Kenston High School, graduated from Kenston in 2012. So, kind of maybe picking up from there, kind of telling us, you graduate high school, and then maybe talking about what life looked like for you then. I know that there was some big events, that happened, whether it was school, work, personal things, relationship-wise, right? Maybe pick up from there and kind of tell us a little bit about what life looked like for you after graduation.
Yes. So I went to Kenston all 4 years. It was a great opportunity to go there, and all 3 of us went there as well. And Kenston is definitely a great school.
That's right. Chagrin Falls High School is one of our high school partners for our high school program, so we appreciate Chagrin Falls, but go Bombers.
Yes, go Bombers. Exactly. Exactly, Christian.
So you graduate from Kenston and go to Kent State.
Yes, and then I went to Kent State, so that's why I had to walk with my high school buddies, because again, I was going to get accepted on a full ride as well. So I needed only a year to get my senior when I was a senior in high school.
You actually had to work to graduate a little bit early.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
To get to Kent State in time.
Exactly. At that time, I needed to do that. Yeah. And so I was homeschooled for that last year. Then after that last year, which I was walking, like I said, with my buddies of high school. And then around that time, I needed to turn my project in. And I gave the project as well. They said, great job. We did great. And here I am. I graduated in 2012 at Kenston. And then I went down to Kent on a full ride as well. I mean, that all 4 years as well. And then that leads me into dating long distance.
So part of I don't want to interrupt you, but went through a pilot program there at Kent State, worked a few jobs at that time. I think your first job was at McDonald's, right?
Of course.
McDonald's, worked at Nike, worked at a few different places.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so then go ahead.
And then what Christian was saying, I was trying to get my career off the ground as well, where, number one, that is important in life, to actually make the money, to be living off of that as well. I mean, besides what Christian just now said, my first job was McDonald's. And then after that, I worked at Logs International, where every international needed these logs as well. So I worked there as well. And which Christian also touched on, Nike, I worked there for 1 summer as well. So I had literally, 3 jobs right there on top of working here too, as well, on the very beginning.
And you found your eventual home for employment here at the 2.
Yes. Yeah, so again, I mean, that and also got the career off the ground, which I went to back here. Then my mom got called because we were here placing people, okay, as well. They said was, hey, is there anybody that are you interested in placing as well? She said, well, as of right now, I got nobody right now to be placed. And so, and they also asked the question of, hey, are you willing, are you okay if I recruit your son, Derek, to come and work with us? And my mom was like, do I really have to share my son? Anything? Yeah. So, of course, she didn't say that, but again, I got recruited. I worked down at McMaster Car. That was a 24/7 job as well. It was a great place. Worked there for a year, and then at that moment, I was pretty much getting happy at that time. And then after I was working there for a year, whatever, I said I got laid off there. So I'm like, you know what? I think this is probably my cue.
Come back to the 2.
This is probably the time that I need to leave.
It was a sign, right?
Come back to the 2 as well. Yeah. So I learned really great opportunities. And again, I wanted, and again, which that leads me into what I studied as well, business, okay? And I know that's a general, broad thing as well to study. And I didn't know what to study, but I'm like, you know what? That's what I wanted to go into.
Yeah, and you get to put your education to use here.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. Jack, so after high school, you get done there, you finish up homeschooling after your time at NDCL, and then kind of connect the dots here between finishing high school and then arriving at the 2.
Yeah, for sure. So after high school, I went for my associates. I went to Lakeland for my majoring in financial and forensic. Well, actually, financial accounting just at Lakeland, and then Lakeland has partnerships with other colleges in Ohio. So it's based upon what you major in. So after I graduated with my associates, I transferred into Franklin University, which is based out of Columbus, their program. And that worked well for me because Franklin's primarily an online school. So I was online at the time. I took classes at Lakeland, but partial online. So I said to finish my bachelor's, to try to transfer over, I'll just finish online. So I double majored in financial and forensic accounting. Had the financial part was definitely tedious. It was not like just spreadsheets, and the forensic aspect of it I enjoyed more because of the creativity of it. I wasn't 100% sure what avenue I wanted to go in after graduation, and then he led me here. So that's how it all worked out in the end.
Yeah. No, we're so fortunate to have you here. I think we talked off air before this show. My undergrad was economics, and I hated accounting classes.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
You know, you're a little more smart and skilled than some of us, Jack.
You said it was your least favorite class. Right?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Yeah.
Didn't like that, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't do accounting here, and that's okay. Okay, so let's transition to our Changemaker segment, because this is really again, the heart of the show, this is why we're all here. We're here to highlight Cleveland Changemakers. And I think, just going through the guest highlight, the review, our twos, Qs, and letting everybody get to know you guys a little bit, I think it's obvious how you guys are such change makers. But let's spend a little bit of time talking about that to let everybody get to know you a little bit further. So how about, Jack, do you want to first just share what it means to you to be a change maker?
Yeah, so I think we asked this question most shows, and I always thought, man, this is a hard question to answer. Yeah. So, and I always say to the desk, I kind of think for a minute and then answer. But I would say being a change maker is it's more so how I live my life day to day, how I treat others, not once a day, once a week, once a month, but doing it consistently. Practice what you preach. And I think to follow up on that, you gotta not only by your words but by your actions. Yeah. So my parents had headed up a fundraiser. My mom headed up. It was called the Jackrabbit Run, and it was held at Lakes Farm Park to raise money for people with my condition, SMA. Yeah. And it was a 5K race. And I would be my dad had a 4-wheeler, and he would put me on the back in like a tumble form chair, and kind of tied it down with bungee.
So you guys would win the race, right?
Oh yeah, we had to win the race because we led it, and a couple of times we had to hit the accelerator because we had some Ironman runners, we had marathon runners running it, so they were kind of hot on its tail, But I talked about the Jackrabbit because we did it for 9 years. I think it was 02 to 11, right before my surgery, and I did it right before my surgery. And so we did it to raise money, and my mom always said, we did it to, raise money for my condition, but I never would have thought, in my life I would see any results, but now they are coming out with treatments and therapeutics from obviously raising the money and millions of other people doing the same thing and it's early, but treating children with my condition and hitting all of their milestones early on. So it is amazing to see that. I think that Changemakers question actually just seeing others with my condition, not having to go through what I went through.
Yeah. If you're born today, it's much different.
It's much different.
The options you have now and the treatment you would receive as opposed to when you were born.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing that you've been able to give back in that way and impact others in that way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'll shift gears, Derek. I'll ask you the same question, but then I kind of want to chat a little bit about it afterwards. So I kind of want to just get your thoughts here first on what you think it is to be a change maker, and then I'll kind of jump in after that.
That sounds good.
So go for it.
What that means, I really don't look at myself as a change maker. Okay. But I also look at it as the change maker as Jesus, that is a change maker, that he will always do, that he will always want people to be a change. Okay. And again, that's not what my job is though. Okay. I mean, I believe that he is the one and only change maker. And why I say that is because, with a positive attitude, okay, and again, it's just more like the positive energy, positive feedback, okay, where there's the reason why I'm smiling, the reason why we all are smiling is because people may say, why are you smiling? Right? Here's this one true one that would do that. And that is Jesus Christ. Okay? that is also the main change maker as well, that he would like to go change in somebody's life as well, and says, you know what, I made you to be my children. Go make a difference. Go make a change maker in somebody's life that needs somebody to be loved on, to be loved, and loved unlovable. And that's also what a change maker is. Okay, do I see myself as a change maker? Yes, because again, it is within the testimony as well. I mean, when people see the testimony, that where the testimony is pretty much the walking of the faith right there.
Yeah, being that light, living in a way that you're called to live. You know, I think that we talked about at the end of Two's Q's, you know, one word to describe yourself.
Yes.
One word that I always think of is masterpiece, right? Ephesians 2:10 tells us that we are God's masterpiece. We're his handiwork.
Absolutely.
You know, and that truth is for every single one of us who are made in his image. You know, and it says that he's prepared the good work for us to do long ago. So,
Yes.
you know, you guys are just kind of the conduits through which the real change maker, right, allows us to all go out and be the light, right, and point everybody to that one who is the real change maker.
I mean, just by what you said too, Christian, again, I mean, it's the truth that every single parent in this place, okay, needs to view it as, you know what, why am I the one that is trying to say, you have this, you have that, kind of thing. That is not what we are doing in this place. God the Father also does that. That's why I think in this place that needs to be the hope, the living hope that we need in this place. Okay.
That's what the message of the two is. It's a message of hope. You know, we were talking before the show and we said, what's the one thing you guys want to come across, you know, and having this show? And you said, I want to convey this message of hope that we have, right? And, you know, I think that that's the two's vision of what you just said, life without labels. A diagnosis, a label, those things don't define us, right? We find our identity from someone greater, you know, and he says that you're to be kind, right? You're one word. You're to be hopeful. You're to be humble. But we as God's creation are God's masterpiece, you know, and that's the hope we're here to be able to pass along.
And I do want to emphasize on too what you guys watched with the past, whatever. I love how he lived out his faith. His faith. We are called to live bold. Okay.
Point people to Jesus.
And he did live his life bold. He made his faith bold in bold letters. Okay, faith is what it is. And he lived it out. He actually talked about faith. And he wants to be known as faith. Because the faith is in Jesus. And that's what he wants to live out. And that's why we do this 216 show with faith in him as well.
Yeah. Well, and I think, you know, kind of going into a little bit of a kind of my experience, Derek, is, you know, you mentioned that maybe you don't view yourself as a change maker, but I kind of want to just give my perspective, right, as not only your family member and your cousin, but now one of your coworkers, right? Because I think that you definitely are a change maker, right? But I think that the biggest way that you're a change maker is by just being you day in and day out.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, you know, obviously I know that the audience probably doesn't know a whole lot about me. I'm usually on the other side of the camera, right? But you know, prior to working here at the Two, right, like obviously I've heard about the Two from the start, you know, family events getting together, and I'm hearing about what's new and how are things going. And but prior to this was working full time as a therapist, right? Because my passion was, you know, I want to go out and I just want to help people, right? I want to do what I can to assist people that need help. And while I think that that is a valuable thing, and I still do counsel, when there was an opportunity to come on board here, right? It was difficult because I'm like, man, argument can be made, like I can have more of an impact, here at the two, because I'm so sold out for the mission that we have. And as Christian's kind of mentioned our mission, right? Like our mission is your mission.
Yes.
Right? Not allowing a label to limit what you could expect somebody's life to look like. Right? And I've gotten a front row seat to that as a family member who's, able to see you a lot and spend a lot of time with you.
Sure.
And so my perspective on, obviously a diagnosis doesn't mean anything because like Derek's never been limited to anything, right? But that may not be the experience for everybody, and that's the whole reason why we're trying to combat that, right? And show that somebody tells you have a certain diagnosis, right? Like, okay.
That doesn't go along with any certain predetermined outcomes.
No.
That's why I do want to say, though, that's what the Father does. He does define us as well. And he will do that. He's not doing it out of despite. He's doing it because he loves us. Because we are his children. We all have challenges, which I will say is the challenges, it will turn into opportunities where we can learn and grow as well. That's why, again, this is not just a job, okay? This is a place where we can see the guys and ladies that have the opportunity to grow, work, thrive as well. I mean, in this place. That's why we are here to do. Okay? That's what we are called to do in this place as well. I mean, to learn and grow from that, it's the greatest thing. Okay? I mean, that helps them out too.
So, yeah, I think it's our privilege to be able to bring this family approach and philosophy to our community here through the two. So Jack, I said I would kind of give my side of the story a little bit later, and I think now is that time. So I'm privileged to do basically all of our intake meetings. So potential clients who want to come to us for training, I get to meet with all of them first. Had the privilege of meeting with you and sat down, and from the moment we sat down and started talking, I thought, man, this kid has the greatest attitude, the most positive outlook that you could possibly have.
I appreciate
right? Like, and we all have challenges. We all have things where we could focus elsewhere and focus on the negative, right? But we all also have the choice to say, no, I'm going to focus on the positives. I'm going to focus on the opportunities. I'm going to focus on, the things that I can control. And I think that was one thing when we first sat down that was just so apparent and so obvious from the start was this kid's got the world's greatest attitude. Right? So how do you, have such an infectious, positive attitude and outlook on life?
Yeah, so thanks again for all the nice compliments. Well, I would say it starts with my upbringing, the way my parents brought me up. And like I said earlier, with the Jack Rabbit and the run, with a bunch of people coming with my condition, you get the viewpoint at a very young age that even though you're in a chair, that people do have it worse than you. And that's kind of the philosophy I live by, that someone's always having a bad day, and you really gotta look at the positive side of things. I never understood the connect that people had, either having self-pity or just a very negative attitude. I just can't sympathize with it because I don't know what that feels like, and I've never had it. And there are bad days, of course, everyone has bad days. And the time to tap the switch on, I should say, is I was kind of having, I never had negative thoughts or, self-pity, but there was a stretch there a couple of years back where I was like, I was trying to I had a lot of work, and I was trying to, not outwardly, but inwardly, like, why did God put me in this position? And the day, probably the day after kind of having those thoughts, I broke my tibia. So that was my, after the fact, that was my sign where Jesus was saying, there can always be a worse situation. There's always people that have it worse or used to be in a worse situation. And you're really not even, when it was diagnosed, I'm really not even supposed to be here in the first place by the diagnosis. So that's kind of how I live every day, because I see the kids with my condition either passed on or in very critical condition. So I just live, because my parents raised me, always have a positive outlook on things, along with my siblings. There can always be a worse situation, so always bring yourself up, and more importantly, bring others up with you with that positive attitude.
Well, your grateful attitude is infectious, and I think just to kind of wrap up our Changemaker segment here, thank you to both of you for who you are, for how you guys live on a day-to-day basis, and for just being you, right? And following through on the calling, that you each have.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't think I can give a sermon like Derek, but that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
That's right.
A gift from God.
Yeah.
That He allows me to do that. And again, that's exactly how I live my life as well.
Well, thank you guys for doing that. So let's transition to a more fun. Not that this isn't fun. This has been a lot of fun, but a topic we're all passionate about.
Yeah. So I think the vibes are up a little bit. We were prepping for the show. We're a little uncertain maybe of what this feeling was going to be here on this Monday, but we get to celebrate a Victory Monday here. First of the season, hopefully the first of a few more at least, right? But I think that, we want to talk about Cleveland sports. I think with what happened Sunday, there's no better way to start than maybe chatting about the Browns a little bit. So,
I know from talking on Friday, we met on Friday, the only one of the four of us who thought the Browns would be sitting here at 1-2.
It was Derek.
Was Derek.
That's fine yourself.
I'm the one who was positive.
The irrational optimist.
You had no reason to think that, but you did.
Thank you. And there's a reason behind that. The man who I know is looking at me saying, all these different things going on. Okay. This and this and that about these Browns. Okay. Oh, back to the old ways kind of thing. All right. And you know what I just decided to do? Prove this guy wrong, okay? And say, you know what? There's an opportunity right there that the Browns are going to win this week. And being down 0-2, okay? And Mr. Christian Hunch over here decided, you know what? Let's whine all we want about this and that. And now here we are. Mr. Christian Hunter,
there's a lot to whine about with the Browns.
You have been proved wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I felt great for Andre Schmidt.
Andre Schmidt,
I'm going to tell you, I bet you his dad went ballistic at that game.
You said he was at the game, right?
Okay.
And they shared his story during the game, which I don't know about you guys. I wasn't really fully familiar with it.
So,
but it was pretty awesome.
Tell the story.
And awesome. Yeah, do you know about it?
I do.
Yeah.
So it was 12 seconds left. Okay. It was going to be field goal versus field goal, right? So at this time, it was 3-0, right? It was the Packers winning, right, at halftime. Okay. We just decided, you know what? We got plenty of time right now. Okay. All we needed was, number one, use our rookie to the best to our opportunity. Okay.
Talking about Judkins, running back.
Okay.
Judkins.
Judson's was a smart
I'm
play.
like, you gotta play smart.
Yeah.
Don't play the smart thing to do, right? As well, where keep the offensive out there, right? I said, don't tell me this now. You're gonna pull the the wall out from under us now, right? At this moment, I'm like, all we need is a touchdown. Okay, at this point.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm like, don't tell me this now. Okay, we're about to lose this.
So then,
We got a touchdown.
come back.
So we were going to get a touchdown on the very beginning.
Okay, so everybody watched the game.
Penalty,
Everybody knows what
13-yard
happened.
penalty.
Everybody
We
watched
got
the
back
game.
at it.
Yeah.
Jack, what, you got
We got
something to
back
say?
at it. We got a touchdown.
No, I was going to say I thought we were transitioning to the titular Andre Schmidt.
Yeah.
But Drew was alluding to he lost his mom in July to brain cancer. So you can't be happier for him.
I cannot be happier.
That they stuck with him too. Yeah. Because I was one of them. I said maybe they'll back the Hopkins.
Yeah, I was right there with you. I was like, my gosh, like after week 1, we got to look at other options. So I commend them for sticking with him.
It wasn't like in week 10. It was the first week, and his mental state, he's going to be gone. Yeah. But I mean, to bounce back like that.
Oh, for him to come through in that way.
They had his back clear.
Okay, but that's great. Browns win a game. They beat the Packers.
Yeah, but
Thank you very much for finishing that. I really appreciate that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's keep it moving. Yeah. When do we start to see Dylan Gabriel or Shador?
I'll say week 7.
Week 7.
That's
You think
what
we
I'm saying.
can last this long offensively?
We got a tough 6-week
I think
stretch.
it's based on the schedule. They don't want to throw him in there. Although Pittsburgh's defense is not looking good this year, so maybe week 6, that Pittsburgh game, that's a bit,
I think you just can't watch another few weeks of offensive football.
It's
back there with Joe Flacco.
Nothing at half.
It's extremely hard to watch,
It's-
the offense.
You can only ask so much of the
But
defense.
you know the other side in the defense,
Yeah.
The defense is going to keep us in every game.
every game,
That's why I'm saying, like, you just get Dylan Gabriel or somebody out there to give you a little mobility and just a little
Sustain
more
some drives.
little more playmaking. You know, as long as he can not turn it over. Go out there, just give you a little more on offense without
little
making the
more.
mistakes.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And what it's to look forward to is, besides Miles Garrett, the 2 best defensive players are rookies on the field. So
Schwessinger's been great.
And I know we mentioned this before we got rolling, right? But like a guy he played his tail off yesterday. Mason Graham, you mentioned rookies.
Mason Graham is
43%
unbelievable.
pass rush success rate. The NFL average for a D tackle is 9%.
The trade down, that might be the first time ever that the Browns benefited from a trade down. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, he played great. I thought my personal Browns kind of underrated player for the season is Aiden Huntington. I love it, man. Like, bring him in at fullback on the goal line.
Yeah, you're a fullback, so that's why I love it.
That's right. You got to keep the fullbacks in the league, man. It's not football without the fullbacks.
Where's the beef?
Yeah, bring in the beef. Stop doing, Luke Weipler play action. Let's run the ball.
Run the
1
ball
yard line.
down the throat, yeah.
Throwing it on 1st and goal at the 1. That's just
Hand
terrific.
it off to Judkins and let's, I know we don't necessarily do the tush push with Mr. Flacco, but you get a fullback in there and run behind.
Exactly. And I do like Carson, though.
Schlesinger?
Carson,
Yeah, the linebacker.
Yes, the linebacker.
He's all over the place.
he is unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's had 3 tackles on special teams, too. So he's everywhere.
And doing all that as a rookie, I mean, he's out there calling the defense. I know Garrett's kind of our leader on the defense, but Schwesinger's wearing the green dot.
He's wearing the green
He's
dot,
the one getting everything, getting everybody set up. And for the Browns, like, you lose JOK, right? You lose a Pro Bowl linebacker, which we're not really sure what his status is moving forward.
TBD.
This guy is stepping up in a big way, and this defense is what we're going to have to rely on for the rest of the season, obviously. But
hopefully they can get it to where they're still relevant, and we're getting a look at Dylan Gabriel and Shador.
Let's give ourselves a shot.
We got Detroit now coming up here. And I think now
That's going to be tough. Yeah.
going up against Detroit.
I love your optimism. One thing I am more optimistic about is the Guardians right now.
They also have Detroit coming up.
That is something I'm more optimistic about.
Absolutely.
A huge series tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So what happens? The Guardians get in? They make the playoffs?
I'm saying they didn't. I'll say division.
Yeah.
Division.
You think they're going to win the division?
I'm saying it.
They go ahead and beat the Tigers in the series, finish out with the Rangers, and overtake the Tigers and complete what is it? The biggest comeback.
15 game,
Largest
comeback.
in MLB history.
Yeah. But you know what though? Isn't that so on brand for the Guardians? Like Cleveland baseball just has like a magic to it.
They have a magic.
You know, like they're never really out of it.
You have the opposite feeling with the Browns,
Right.
as you do with the Guardians.
Yeah.
The Guardians, you think they're going to find a way.
The
The Guardians, you think with all the momentum they have right now, they're going to be able to finish it off, get into the playoffs, and then, I mean, as hot as they are right now and the pitching they have, hey, we'll take our chances with anybody.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, what a great story they've
Big
been.
pitching matchup too tomorrow.
Yeah.
Davin Williams versus Stubble, so the Aces are doing at it.
And that's a huge game one.
Yeah.
I mean, that game one
That sets the tone.
flips, it flips it one way or the other
It
in a
really does.
big way.
I think that might decide it.
Yeah.
And Parker, I forget his last name.
That's it.
Yes. He is, oh my gosh, phenomenal.
Dude pounds the strike zone.
And
Lefty.
I think there's another one though, and he's a young one.
Well, they've had an historic stretch of
Joey
pitching
Santillo.
here. I mean, historic stretch of pitching.
Right, he's a young one as well.
Most of our pitching is very young.
Oh my gosh, we brought him up
Joey
from
Santillo.
Columbus.
Yeah.
And
Santillo.
he is, talk about quick. Okay, he's new, he's young,
Oh, PB.
and his one is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, you know who I'm talking about.
All right.
PB.
So Jack says they make the playoffs. Derek, they make the playoffs?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
I'm a yes. I don't know that they win the division, but I think that they can for sure. I think we're tied with the Astros right now for that third wild card spot.
And we own the tiebreaker.
So we own the tiebreaker. So I'm hopeful. I'm not counting us out of the division, but I think we sneak into that wild card.
Struggling, man. Detroit, just as hot as the Guardians have been.
They're cooling off.
Yeah. Detroit's struggling to the finish line.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, we're fortunate here in Cleveland to have 3 professional sports teams. Not a lot of cities have 3 professional sports teams, and I know it's not Cavs season, but we don't get the opportunity on these episodes for the 4 of us to just sit and talk about sports for a minute. So we're going to take the liberty here and talk about it a little bit. What do you guys have in the Cavs so far? What's the outlook for the season?
To start out with, good question. My optimist is going to be 50. 50 wins.
Oh, I think they win more than 50 games.
I think they win more
The
than
regular
that,
season
yeah.
is not the problem for the Cavs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Playoffs.
They win way more than
If they go to a playoff,
way more than 50 games.
if they go to the playoffs, I say yes. There's 1,000% right there. Okay. The way how we ended the playoff last year, I'm going to tell you this right now. Okay. We got unfinished business to get to.
Finish, yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I hope they've been thinking about it all off season while they're working out.
Absolutely.
Hopefully Jared Allen and Darius Garland have been in the weight room working out.
I don't want to look this far ahead, but I think they have to make the move at the deadline for them to compete.
They're just not big enough. They're not physical enough. They can win a boatload of regular season games, and they might very well be the number 1 seed again. Like, they could do that. But when you get to the playoffs and you have to play 2 small guards, and as tough and as strong and as athletic as Donovan Mitchell is, when you have to put him on the floor with Darius Garland, somebody is in a huge mismatch. And then you put Jared Allen out there, and I am so sick of watching Jared Allen get shoved out of the way for offensive rebounds by guards. Get Jaylen Brown out there strong-arming him. Excuse me, that's my rebound, thank you. And he puts it back in, and you're like, okay, this is great. This is great. You know, you appreciate that he can get out and switch, and he can guard guards on the perimeter, and he's long, and he can finish with both hands, and he can do things in space. But when you get to playoff time, they have to make a move.
And they don't have Evan Mobley's not. He's a great player. He's not.
Evan Mobley made a big stride last year.
He's a great player.
If he can take another step forward, but you're right. That's never who he's going to be. You have to surround him and Donovan with some others, and I think they have to make a move.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know what it takes to get an angry Jared Allen.
You can't.
You know?
You can't. It doesn't take anything. Yeah, it doesn't. It takes trading him. That's what it takes.
You're watching the game, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, just let me out there just to box out, knowing I would never work. But it's like I just want to do it for him.
Just throw an elbow, right?
Yeah, make a move.
You get 5 fouls, I would use them. Tell you that. But
6 in NBA.
you got it. Like Chris.
But I'm sure it's going to be a fun regular season. They
I will
play
have to
it.
disagree, though. I will have to disagree with you 3 on that one. Okay.
The optimist.
Don't forget, okay, you gotta be optimistic about it too. And that's how Kenny is too, okay?
I hope so.
I hope that.
And the reason why I'm saying it that way is because Kenny believes in Jared Allen and how strong he can be. It's not just Jared Allen. He also believes in Evan Mobley, okay? And I'm telling you this right now, when I see Evan Mobley, you know he reminds me of? You know that C1 is, right? Chris Bosh.
Wow.
Chris Bosh. He could be the next Chris Bosh. Okay, he's wrong. He's lazy.
Is he better than him already?
Yeah,
Chris Bosh was quite a player, man.
he was a good player.
People forget how good Chris Bosh was before he was with the Heat.
Yeah.
He got kind of overshadowed when he was with the Heat by LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron Wade, yeah.
And Jared Allen will be Jared Allen. Okay, and Kenny used to coach Jared Allen.
Yeah. They have a history together.
As well.
Which you
and
would
he
think-
believes in Jared Allen.
He could have brought it out in him by now if he was going to bring it out.
And he's going to bring it out. And I promise you that too. That you guys don't, all three of you guys don't even see that yet. I'm sure that will come out this season.
I would love for it to.
Browns are coming off a win. Guardians are hopefully going to make the playoffs here. I think we all think that right now. And the Cavs should have a fun, exciting season. So
Regular season at least, right?
it's a regular season at least.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
So I think it's a good time to be a Cleveland sports fan. Okay, well, I think we go ahead and wrap up the show here. I mean, I go back to what you guys said was the goal of the show, right? To communicate a message of hope and potential, to show everybody the vision and mission of the two here, that people are people, right? There is no them and us. There's no distinction between a label, a diagnosis, and anybody else. And I think that, you both wanted to share your positive, outlook on life. And I think that, our goal in doing this was that everybody would get to know you guys, get to know the show, get to know, the background, the history of the show, and what it's all really about. So we appreciate you guys flipping seats with us here.
Yeah, it's been an honor.
Yeah,
Yes.
allowing us
Thank
to get to know
you.
you guys and allowing our audience to get to know you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that said, I couldn't let you guys come on the show without giving you a gift. So we have two of our Too Strong zip-up hoodies
There
here.
we go, I like that.
Stronger together. Grab. Derek, we got you one here. Too Strong.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show.
No, thank you for
Allowing us to have you on the
allowing us
show.
to be on the
Jack.
show.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Stronger together.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
D-man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Jack.
Yes.
Always.
So make sure to follow us on our socials. Make sure to not miss out any content. Come into the cafe, eat, shop, come see us at the Two. Drew, what does Derek always say?
Go make a difference together. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys.